Hello, I'm Locutus, and welcome back to Star Trek Online. I did briefly consider doing a cheesy on the last episode of Star Trek Online recap, but, you know, it's not really necessary. You can just watch the last video if you really want. Anyway, so yeah, we played through the basic tutorial, and we've ended up in command of our own ship, the U.S.S. Nimoy, and Captain, now Captain, well, technically I'm a lieutenant, as you can see from my rank in the top left, but I'm in command of the ship, so I will address myself as Captain, as is proper tradition. Is now in command, with the previous Captain, I think it was Captain Taggart, having been murdered by brutal, vicious Klingon scum, and they got away, and we will hunt them down to the end of the Earth. But we got a distress call at the end from the Pollock system, so we are headed there now. I've been just randomly flying around in Spectre space a bit, so we'll open the map up, go down here. You can see the Pollock system there with a big, obvious flashing target of go here to do mission. So we'll click on that and plot a course, and the ship will automatically head for Pollocks. While you're in sector space in Star Trek Online, again, like I said, if you're joining here, well, I'd suggest you go back and watch the first video, but if you don't want to do that, or you skipped it because it's all tutorial stuff and you're not interested in that, the game is free to play, and it genuinely is. It's not, you know, there is cosmetic stuff and all sorts of little bits and pieces you can buy in the store, but you don't need to, so if you fancy having a go yourself, check it out. Just go to www.startrekonline.com. No, I'm not sponsored by the game in any way. I just quite enjoy it and want to spread the word around. Okay, so we're headed for Pollocks now to investigate this unknown distress call. While you're in sector space, by the way, if you mouse over down here, your little speed bar, it'll tell you what your current warp speed is. Now, I'm in a rather rubbishy little starter ship, so my top speed is warp 5. And as you can see, I am, well, you know, zipping through space, but you might see some other players' ships in a minute go zooming past much faster. I say it's mainly level based, your top speed in space. You will get faster as you go higher. You can tell, I mean, player ships are the ones with, I mean, you can tell they're pretty obvious. They've got, you know, a player name and a ship name like that chap over there. In the background, a Coram Vec of the U.S.S. Bellerophon. As I said, ship names don't have to be unique. You can call them whatever you like. So you will see probably quite a lot of, you know, U.S.S. Enterprise and U.S.S. Defiance floating around. But as long as your ship's registry number is unique and your account name is unique, you can name your character and your ship whatever you want. So, which is quite cool because it means, you know, you don't end up with lots of ships called stupid things with numbers on the end of their name for the sake of being different, or, you know, subtly misspelled names. You get people, you know, the ability to name ships what you want to name it. Because, you know, when all said and done, even though it's an MMO, you will spend a lot of this game playing solo. It's, you know, you're in space, you're in a starship. You don't tend to do... Grouping isn't quite as big a thing you'll find in STO as it is in some other MMOs. But, that's not to say grouping doesn't work, and it's a lot of fun, obviously, playing with your friends and stuff, and the game is always better with some mates, and later on, once we get a bit further into the video, into the series, we'll probably do some group ups with some friends of mine, or I might even go onto my main character, one of my existing characters, and we'll do some there. But for now, we'll carry on with Sirek's playthrough. So here we are, and the mission we're on is Communications Breakdown. Investigate what happened to the U.S.S. Kittimer in the Pollock system. So we will begin the mission. It'll go to a loading screen and then load the mission map.
We're here, Captain. The U.S.S. Kittimer is dead ahead, and the Renown is beside us. Our orders are to make contact with the Kittimer and find out why they've not responded to our hails.
Yep, there's our first officer, Eliza Flores, Ensign Eliza Flores, who was our tactical officer on the ship while we were first officer. They went through the academy with us, and the Renown that rescued us from the Klingons. Very good. Set a course for the Kittimer. Yes, I'm still doing the my poor attempt at a Vulcan accent, I guess. When you get fed up of it, do comment and I'll stop, but until anyone says otherwise, I'm going to keep doing it, because I'm sad like that. Okay, we're in range now, so we can hail the U.S.S. Kittimer. Can't get much of a signal there, it's just static. We can see him alright though. Let's see if we can... let's cut through this static. Boost the signal, Ensign.
Yes, sir. I will require approximately 15 seconds to make the necessary adjustments.
Understood.
Ah, Captain Volog. Captain Taggart? What are you both doing here?
Not Captain Taggart, sir. I am in command of the Nimoy. Captain Volok ordered me to come with him to your location.
Always good to follow the orders of your superior officers.
Do you know what has happened with your communication systems?
These cadets were the unfortunate victims of a Klingon ambush. Captain Taggart is dead, and the ship is under the command of this cadet. The Renown was escorting them back to Earth's space dock, but when we could not raise the Kittimer, I deemed it imperative to alter our course and assess the situation. Captain Yim, what is your status?
I'm troubled by the anomalies in this system, and if they're affecting long-range communications, then they're doubly a cause for concern.
There do seem to be a lot of anomalies here.
Numbers. We've already launched 9 probes. Now that they're active, we can do an in-depth scan of the anomalies. With all 3 ships collecting data, we should be able to complete this quickly and formulate a course of action. The Renown has the largest science team, so I recommend we send our data there for analysis. Any questions?
No questions, sir. Okay, so we've got to scan these anomalies.
You can set your ship's power levels to have a focus on attack, defense, speed, or balance.
I think I explained that in the last video already, but yeah, you can change your power levels as you see fit. Generally speaking, space portions of the game tend to be mainly focused on combat, so you usually find, certainly for most combat ships, you want to have it set mainly to, well, certainly for tactical vessels you want it set mainly for attack. If you're playing a sort of tanky engineering type character with a big cruiser built for tanking, you might want to put more power to the shields. Similarly, if you're playing a science vessel and most of your attack power comes from special abilities rather than your weapons, you might want to put more power to auxiliary. Again, you can choose the presets, or you can completely manually toggle the levels to whatever you like with the different options in there. I usually just use the manual ones.
Reports indicate traces of gamma radiation, but there's something off in the readings.
Okay, so we'll head over to the next cloud. Use full impulse to get there faster. Drop out a full impulse, just in case something ambushes us. It's been a long time since I've played this part of the game, but...
Kittimer here. Are you seeing the same gamma radiation levels that we are? I'm not sure that a normal scan will be enough. We might need to do a full multiphasic reading.
Okay, I'm a science officer, so I've got another option here, which is I've determined that it is a problem with our sensors' tachyon settings.
My chief science officer, Commander Davis, had suggested the same thing, but it seems you're already aware of it. Good work. We'll perform a reverse tachyon pulse wave and see if that solves the issue. Report
Understood.
your once your final scan is complete.
Understood, sir. Clearly we need to reverse the polarity in the inverse phase resonators. Or something. We could also try reconfubling the energy motrons, or whatever. Like putting too much air in a balloon, and something bad happens. Oh, Futurama. We need more of that show. If you're one of the few people out there who hasn't seen the Futurama Star Trek parody episode, by the way, you really should check it out. If you're watching this video, you've clearly got enough of an interest in nerdly matters that you will find it hilarious. Frankly, I suspect everyone who's watching this video has probably already seen it, though, so... Okay.
Deflector dish is realigned for reverse tachyon pulse wave, sir. Picking up a transwarp signature. It's right on top of us! The Borg!
Uh-oh. Oh my god! The Borg! It's only a probe, fortunately, so we can probably handle that. Come round and... have some torpedoes. Yeah, as I was saying a minute ago, it's been a while since I've played this part of the game, but I'm pretty sure this mission has been changed a lot since the last time I played it. A variant of this used to be essentially the game's tutorial, before they added the Academy sequence. But even with the Academy sequence in there, there was still kind of this mission afterwards, but it was different, I'm thinking. This looks different to what I remember, so they may have... I know they revamped a lot of the Borg story missions a while back, so they might have done this one as well. So yeah, it's a pleasant surprise if so. See, these probes fortunately aren't very dangerous. So we should take them out pretty easily. The various types of torpedoes you can equip. Photon torpedoes have actually got a fairly fast refresh rate, so I'm generally just firing them whenever I can, even with the shields up, because they'll still do damage to shields.
Emergency medical hologram aboard the U.S.S. Kittimer. I am requesting assistance from any Federation vessel in range. I've lost contact with the bridge. I am unable to contact Commander Davis for new instructions.
You may recognize the voice there. That is Zachary Quinto, voicing the EMH there, who, obviously, you probably know, played Spock in the new Star Trek films by J.J. Abrams.
The Kittimer is being overwhelmed by Borg boarding parties.
Personally, I quite like the new films, but I know a lot of Trekkies despised them, but I don't think they're, proper Star Trek, if you know what I mean, but they are still entertaining films. They're good action movies, they're good sci-fi movies. They're just different. But if you take them on that, and, don't expect them to be the old Star Trek, then they could laugh. And Zachary Quinto, I think, did a fantastic job of Spock. Right, anyway, where were we? Can you hold out on your own? We have problems here of our own to deal with.
I am an emergency medical hologram, not a miracle worker.
If I was an engineering officer, we'd have an option to do some changes here, but I'm not, so I can't choose that option. So, Captain Volok, how should we proceed?
The Borg were brutally efficient on the Kittimer. The emergency medical hologram may be in command simply because no one else is fit to do so. The Borg have not been seen in the Alpha Quadrant in decades. Their arrival cannot simply be a coincidence. However, I hesitate to speculate without the full data from all of the probes.
What do you require of us?
I will send teams to aid the Kittimer. You will have to finish the scans. We need to know the extent of the Borg presence here. You must also inform me if you or your crew are unable to continue. The Borg evoke a strong emotional response that can rattle even trained Starfleet officers. A crew of cadets that have already survived a Klingon attack may be unable to cope.
An excellent suggestion. Emotional beings can be troublesome. Flores, please inform me of the status of the crew.
We're scared. We all studied Admiral Janeway's Borg tactics, but no one thought we'd have to use them so soon. It's good that the Renown and Kittimer are here, but I know we need to be ready for the day when we're alone against the Collective. The counselors are already working with the crew. Do you want them to convey a message from you?
Now, what would be the most Vulcan thing to do here? Well, I think logically, the crew must master their fears in order to fight the Borg more effectively. So, I will reassure them, as it is, despite being quasi-emotional, the logical thing to do. Indeed, please convey that I will do everything in my ability to protect this ship and her crew from the Borg.
Understood. I'll tell the crew what you said and set a course for the next anomaly. If the Borg show up again, we'll be ready.
Indeed.
I have linked the Iota point to your map. Scan there while we see to the Kittimer.
So we've got to scan the last point now, which I'm sure won't be swarming with Borg. Let's slow it down a little bit here, just in case. Well, as I said before, you don't want to go into objectives at full impulse journey, because a lot of the time, you know, enemy ships will warp in, or you'll get ambushed or something, and you want your energy levels to be already at their peak before you start fighting. And if you go in and drop out of full impulse straight away, then it takes a while for them to recover. So, again, it doesn't matter too much for these early tutorial missions. You know, it's pretty hard to die at this stage of the game, but and to be honest, dying in Stowe isn't that big a problem anyway, because, you know, there isn't really much of a penalty for death. But, you know, it does slow you down and it's annoying, so, and you should, you know, try to avoid blowing up.
We have your data, and our science team is analyzing it now.
What is the status of the Kittimer?
Our tactical teams have eliminated the Borg boarding parties on the Kittimer. Why do you ask?
Can we use the Kittimer to help analyze the data?
There is an 88.47% chance that you will need my help.
That seems logical. Can you assist with the Renown with analyzing the data we have accumulated thus far in this system?
I have 75 million gigaquads of computer memory and an extensive library of files on military tactics and command strategies. I believe I can spare a few bits of processing power for you.
Please do so.
Borg transwarp signatures detected. Prepare your ship for combat.
Here come the Borg. Oh, there we go. 3 more probes. Let's drop back out of target the closest one. Shields are holding. Torpedoes! That should do him. There he goes. Have another one. One more torpedo should finish that guy off. Oh, not quite. He hit an upshield.
More Borg! I don't know if we're ready for this.
Lots more Borg. Shields are coping pretty well. I'm actually going to lower the in-game volume slightly here of my actual main game sound, because I'm actually finding it a little hard to hear over the...
You are prepared for this.
I'm not sure how that's going to come across in the recording, so if you are struggling to hear me, then apologies.
It's an invasion.
Oh, crap. Run away! Run away! Oh.
The Borg are departing, most likely for a more strategic target.
They ran.
Direct your fire at the remaining sphere.
In that case, focus all weapons on the remaining sphere.
We shall prevail.
Evasive maneuvers. got some loot there floating in space, which we shall acquire.
Here is the situation as we see it. The Borg are using the Pollock system as a staging area for a larger invasion. Long-range sensors are already detecting inbound transwarp signatures. The most likely target for a first strike is the Vega system. There is a civilian colony there, and if the Borg could take it by surprise, they would have large numbers of new drones at their disposal.
What is the status of the Kittimer?
The Kittimer was badly damaged, and there are many casualties. Captain Yim is gravely injured, but he will recover. We are still working on triage and restoring the Kittimer's critical systems. This leads me to our next course of action.
Indeed.
You must go to the Vega colony and warn them that the Borg are coming.
And what will you be doing, Captain?
The Renown is better equipped to hold off further Borg attacks and assist the Kittimer. It is logical for us to remain here. We will delay the Collective, but you must warn the colonists at Vega.
Indeed. Live long and prosper, Captain.
Most missions can be turned in remotely. Click the icon
So, yeah.
next to the mission to report to the
That
contact.
there is a Borg transwarp gate. So, the Captain there and the Renown and the Kittimer are going to stay behind and try and hold off any further Borg that come through. They're probably screwed, to be honest, but well, good luck to them. So yeah, we need to hail Folek to report.
It is imperative that you warn the colony at Vega of the impending attack. We will do what we can to hold off the Borg here in Vega and repair...
We have to make our way to Vega as soon as we can, Captain. I just hope we're not too late to warn the colony. Are you ready to go?
So yeah, let's hold off 2 seconds actually. Let's go not yet. What we have acquired here, it seems, is 2 more officers, which I didn't actually notice us gaining Zarva there, but we just gained Tivrel. So if we go into our stations here, you can see we've now got Zarva in the engineering station, which gives us emergency powder shields, and Tivrel in the science station, which gives us a tachyon emitter. That's a targeted ship that reduces its shields, and that one just regenerates some of our shields for us. We're also going to set our standard away team to include Zarva and Tivrel, because we obviously want all our crew on the ground. Have any of them got the ability to gain different traits? Not really yet. Can we teach them any different skills? Again, not really. Excuse me. Again, I'm relearning how things work here a bit because they've changed the whole system there of how that leveling system works. So we are going to do, I will spend some of my skill points which I've gained, and we will put some points into Starship Shield Emitters, and that will use up all our points. You unlock the next tiers of these essentially once you've spent enough points on the previous abilities and your rank is high enough. Once you have essentially that much experience spent, so once I've spent a total of 15,000 experience, I can put points into Lieutenant Commander skills. As I say, I'm going to be mainly focusing on space abilities. You do have to put some in the ground abilities, but... Okay, so let's go back to our missions. Go... Assimilation of the Innocent. Which is the mission we are on currently. Go to Ops.
We have to make our way to Vega as soon as we can, Captain.
So let's go. Off to Vega. Let's try and stop the Borg assimilating the people on the ground.
Shields up, red alert.
And the Kittimer and the Renown. Oh dear. But we'll find out what happens to them later. So yes, Vega then. Set course for Vega through the systems again, and off we head. So yeah, this mission has been, I think it's been pretty heavily overhauled, because it has certainly changed from the last time I played it. It used to essentially be the original game tutorial. As I was saying, you used to start off, you know, the game would begin literally with you on a ship that was under attack by the Borg, and you'd get a similar story arc where, you know, the captain would be killed and you'd take over, and but it just, you know, I think what they've done certainly makes the Borg story a little more interesting. It also explains, you know, how the Borg turning up is a surprise and they're not just magically here, and also you get to do the Academy, which, as I've said in the previous video, is a big deal for me. I think they should have used that from the word go, but you know, they've done it eventually. The Borg, incidentally, that you fight in the tutorial section here are a far cry from the Borg you will meet later in the game. Because you may be thinking, you know, the Borg here aren't very powerful. If you're beating them up with a starting level ship and stuff, surely the Borg are supposed to be big and scary. Oh, don't worry, the Borg are big and scary later on. The Borg you meet here are generally very weak scouts, and there is some further plot later you'll find out about as to why they're as weak as they are. But generally speaking, you're fighting damaged stuff, or you're fighting it with the assistance of a lot bigger ships. If I were to go and actually try and fight a proper Borg cube or something with this ship, I'd be obliterated. So yeah, let's begin the next part of the mission.
We arrived before the Borg. Now my heart can start beating again. What are your orders, Captain?
Yeah, fortunately, video game time sort of freezes for all the faffing around I was doing in the previous system, so yeah. Hail the colonies. We have got to warn them.
Tyrell managed to establish a comm link with Willa Post, the administrator of Vega Colony. It's not a great signal, but it's the best we're gonna get. Putting her through now.
On screen.
Greetings, Captain. Is there something I could do for you today?
The Borg are on their way to this system. You must start evacuating immediately.
Repeat, please. Your signal is breaking up. Did you see the Borg? What about them?
Indeed. They are en route to this system as we speak. You must evacuate immediately, Mayor. Com. What happened to the signal?
I have lost contact with Vega Colony, sir. Something is blocking all subspace signals in this area. Even our hails to the civilian ships are not getting through. There is a communication satellite nearby. It should boost our signal sufficiently to inform the freighters of the danger and warn the colony.
Set a course for the satellite. So something is blocking our comms. I wonder if it is related to the Borg. Okay, let's head over to the satellite then as quickly as possible. Which isn't very quick, because again, starter ship. Oh, actually I think I did get some items. So let's go to, before we go any further, let's stop. Open up our ship interface. And we have a phaser beam array, which as you can see is slightly better than my standard starting one, so we'll equip that. And we got a torpedo, which again is very slightly better than my starting torpedoes, so we'll equip those as well. Now I could switch out my other phasers for an aft torpedo launcher, but I actually prefer to have two phasers already, which gives me 360 coverage rather than another shot out of the rear. Because if you see, if I mouse over here, you can see. In fact, let me close this down first. Let me pop in a tactical console, which will boost my torpedo yield. a science console, which will boost my shields. And a slightly better sensor dish, I think. Yes, that is better, but we also have that one, and is that... Oh no, that's improved engines, so we'll equip... Basically, the starting equipment you get with any ship is, you know, very basic to the level of the ship, so pretty much any equipment you get from drops is going to be better. So we'll equip those. The actual traits of the engines and things will obviously will vary in all sorts of different abilities. Will boost everything. For example, this one, you can see it boosts my flight speed slightly, it boosts my turn flight, and it also has efficient at high power levels. Now what that means, efficiency is a rating in the game which means you will get essentially a slightly better return when you have more power assigned to that type of system. Some are efficient at high, some are efficient at low, so one that's efficient at low power levels, you will get slightly more bang for your buck when you're running low power to that system, which is, you know, things, if you're running mainly with weapons to weapons and stuff, a low efficiency engine is going to be really helpful for combat. This one is efficient at high level. Now, it still works as well as a normal one at low levels as well. It's just, you know, if I happen to want to really run and put all power to engines, I'll be even better than a normal engine. And I've also got a phaser split beam rifle. Now, we could give that to to myself, and I think we will, yeah, we'll have that one ourselves. What I'll do is I'll give my standard rifle to Ensign Flores. Oh, and also, we'll go to stations. Because I thought we gained... Oh, no, we've only got the 3 tilt, so we haven't got... We'll have to have a generic red shirt for our 4th security officer. Anyway, let's carry on with the mission then. Sorry about that, that was a bit tedious, I know, but these things need doing in MMOs, so...
Our hails are still blocked, sir. The Borg may be attempting to isolate the planet before they land. Your orders, sir.
Zarva, can we get transporter locks on the colonists?
Borg are jamming up any remote signals.
Ah, she's changed her uniform as well.
That. I think I can boost the gain, though.
Please endeavour to do so. The Borg will be here any... dum-dum-dum! moment. So yes, here are the Borg. Let's go kill them.
Those civilian ships are right in the Borg's path. We have to help them.
And the Borg will kill the civilians if you leave them long enough, I believe, but you've got to be pretty terrible to lose all the civilian ships, so let's go in there. While the torpedoes are on flight, we'll change targets, and we'll use our tachyon emissions to eat some of its shields. See, torpedoes, once they go through a down shield, did over 2,000 damage to that ship. And obviously we are hitting a little harder now we've upgraded the weapons. He can have a couple of torpedoes. So torpedoes obviously take a little while to fly to their target, so if you know that the torpedoes are going to do enough damage to kill them, you can switch out and start shooting something else straight away while they're on flight. However, I'm actually out of range of the other ships anyway, so we'll just carry on. Excuse me again. And torpedoes. Torpedoes fly into that ship here, and down it goes. Oh, if you just heard a noise there, that would be my cat Tigger trying to eat me. He's a very friendly animal. Strange alien life form has invaded the ship, Captain. It is attempting to devour my left hand. It's making it quite hard to handle the control consoles. And that should be the end of the Borg for now. So yeah, once the combat status goes away, we'll have to consult with the crew.
Captain, I have short-range communications. Long-range signals are still blocked. I can contact the planet and have informed Administrator Post of the situation. However, the Borg have already landed and are moving toward the colony. It may be more prudent to retreat back to the Renown, sir.
As we are the only Starfleet vessel in the system, it is our duty to rescue as many colonists as we can.
Borg landing craft detected nearby. Captain, there are civilian ships engaging them.
I believe I can send a message to those ships.
Civilian ships, you are ordered to disengage and retreat. We will cover you.
Yep. They're quite rightly telling the civilians to run for it and let us deal with the Borg.
All ships, fall back.
So yep, the civilians warp out.
All civilian ships have safely warped out of the system, Captain.
As I say, this is still essentially a tutorial mission though, so even though we're outnumbered by very weak ships. There go the last of the Borg landing craft. However, they've already got some people on the surface, apparently, so we have to head down to the Vega colony and attempt to...
and the colony won't be able to hold them off for long. I recommend beaming down to Vega and getting as many people out as we can.
And attempt to do what Ensign Flores just said. So yes, we're going to beam down to the planet.
Choose your away team for your next mission.
Now you have to choose our away team.
Who will be on your away team will grow as you recruit more bridge officers.
Now in this case, we're not getting a full away team, we only get the one officer to come with us, so... Now we have some medical abilities ourselves, so we're going to bring Flores along with us, our first officer, because as obviously with everything in Star Trek, the most sensible option is to send the most two senior, highest ranking officers down to the planet on the away team, leaving neither of us in command of the ship. But hey, it's Star Trek, that's what would happen in the show when we were all... Picard and Riker would totally both go down and have some fun. Or Kira and Cisco would go down and kill everyone. Or Chakotay would act like a piece of wood, and Janeway would drink some coffee and make a bad decision and get everyone killed. Sorry, I don't like Voyager. Archer would just get kidnapped. That's what he does. So yeah, down we go then.
Captain, according to our readings, over half the planet is already assimilated by the Borg. At the rate they're progressing, the region we're in will be overrun in roughly 1 hour. And if that wasn't bad enough, the interference is affecting the ship's transporters.
Uh-oh. Understood. We will manually tag any survivors we find for transport. Are there any questions, Ensign?
No, sir. I'll follow your lead.
Let us proceed. So, yeah, the Borg are in the middle of assimilating the planet around us. Hence all the weird sky and the green lights beaming up into the air. Let's get rid of that prompt there, we don't need that anymore. And on we go. I'm going to press the B button again to switch to tactical mode. Allow me to aim with the mouse. Now I've switched out to a split beam rifle, which doesn't give me the sniper shot like the other rifle, but what it does is it will hit.
We too late?
It'll hit multiple targets.
Ships don't just carry drones. They can pump nanoprobes directly into the ground and the atmosphere.
So yeah,
we need to hurry. The Borg will be in this area soon.
The Borg now have advanced and they assimilate pretty much whole planets like that. Oh, we hear some civilians, so we'll tag them with beacons for beam out. And there they go. Safe and sound. Well, safer and sound on our little ship in orbit with a Borg armada on the way. But safer and sounder than down here. Ah, Captain! The strange cat-like beast is attacking us again. What do you want, you silly cat? You can't play Star Trek, you're a cat. Cats aren't allowed to play Star Trek. Yes, I know that's extremely racist against Caitians, but Caitians are evolved cats. Even Data's cat wasn't allowed to fly the ship. So here we are. There are some more civilians. Let's go and rescue them. So Starfleet! Okay, hello refugees.
We didn't know if any
Cardassian.
Starfleet got our distress signal, and we don't have any weapons. But we do have some spare armor suits for you and your officer. They're in the crates next to the gate. This code will open the gate. Please, Administrator Post and some of the others are still there. You have to save them.
Okay, we will do so. What I don't get, though, is if they have this armor here, and they didn't know we were coming, surely one of them would have thought to put it on or something. It's got to be better than nothing, right? Maybe you need special training to use it? I don't know. Anyway, let's retrieve the supplies. And we get a couple of sets of Starfleet energy dampening armor, which gives us resistant to energy weapons and kinetic damage. It's pretty basic stuff, but it's better than the nothing we are currently wearing. So we'll put this on. And we'll put this on Flores. Now you used to, when you put armor on, it would actually physically show up on your character and cover your uniform up and everything, but the developers found that after a while everyone was turning that off anyway, so they've actually made it, when you've got the armor, there is the option to basically alter your look to look like your armor if you want, but you don't have to. Which is good, because, for the most part, if you spend ages designing a custom uniform, which you can do, again, like I said, I've just used the standard ones, but, because I kind of like the uniform being standard, but some folks spend ages designing their own fancy uniforms, and they look pretty cool. And if you're just going to cover that up with a standardized armor, then what's the point? Uh-oh!
No.
Borg!
We're too late!
Kill him! She's one of them! We were doing her a favor. There was nothing we could do to save her. You didn't even try! Yes. It's gonna be that kind of video. Once we get into this game more, I'm gonna start quoting things left, right, and center because I'm a massive nerd. Let's take these guys. No! Get away from her! Borg sons of bitches. Okay. Beam them to safety. Stop the voices. Are they infected? Was that wise? Well, again, this is a bit further on in time. Maybe we can... we've got a bit better at removing nanoprobes from people. Maybe we can save them, but... if I get back to my ship and find that everyone's been assimilated, I'll be really annoyed. Uh-oh, more Borg. Oh, those ones are beaming out. They've already got them, I guess. You can see this the split beam rifle is really rather useful. It's one of the sort of... Well, I'm not sure how effective it is these days now they've revamped the combat, but it used to be one of the dirty tricks in Star originally, is you just give split beam rifles to all your officers in your away team, and, you know, they don't do as much damage individually per target as, you know, the sniper rifles or the rapid fire rifles. But if you give them to all your officers, then everyone fires. You're going to hit all the targets with all, like, 5 members of your away team on a full-size away team. And so you just do so much damage to everything so quickly. It's a tactical drone. Tactical drones are a little bit tougher than the regular ones, and you can see they have shields. So let's focus on him, because he also hits harder and has... as you can see, these Borg are shooting back at me as well. Now again, these are tutorial Borg, effectively. They're Borg in the later game, possibly later on in this mission as well, I'm not sure. They do adapt to your weapons properly, and you have to remodulate your weapons in combat, otherwise you start doing no damage to them and hit their shields. And... oh, too late for that one. And as well as that, they will actually try and assimilate you. They will advance towards you, adapting to you, and when they reach you, they will inject you, and if you die with that debuff on you, you will actually become a drone for a little while until you get taken out by your teammates, or... And you can still see yourself wandering around and, you know, attacking other people, but you can't control yourself. And you are a Borg drone, which is quite cool, but it's a very cool effect. Everything goes sort of green and Borgy. And there's the mayor we spoke to from orbit.
I apologize for Coles putting a rifle in your face. If it wasn't for him, the Borg would have assimilated me by now.
Well, I didn't notice an point rifle in my face, to be honest. He just kind of stood there, but...
I apologize for Coles putting a rifle in your face. If it wasn't for him, the Borg would have assimilated me by now. What's the situation? Are you bringing more Starfleet reinforcements?
We are the only ship here. The Nimoy is in orbit.
I see. And it's true. Vega is doomed. A single starship cannot hope to stop it.
Well, look around.
Still, there is
I don't think there's much the rest of Starfleet could do either, other than, you know, flatten the place from orbit. We can rescue them, but something is inhibiting our transporters.
I know. Coles and I have been trying to get around the interference field. Thank you for tagging the people you found and getting them safely transported to your ship.
These cannot be the only survivors. We detected many more in orbit.
No, there are dozens more hiding out in the buildings. But Coles and I have a plan. We think a pattern enhancer will do the trick. With that, we can transport the
pattern
remaining
enhancers.
to your ship.
The Deus Ex Machina for so many episodes.
Vega was a trade colony, and this gear is intended to go to Starbase 65. I think you will need it more.
You have my thanks. I shall retrieve the equipment and set up the pattern enhancers. So yeah, let's go over to the crates here, and we will... we get a standard issue science kit, which gives us the medical triforder ability built into it, and 1 medic module slot. Now, science kits you can customize.
Appropriate to your profession. Open your inventory, default key I, and double-click it to equip it.
Or we'll just press the U key and drag it into our slot. I prefer to do that than... Now this one currently has... it's a single module, and I have medical tricorder in it. You can change that up for other modules if I find other ones. But there's no rush. Let's close that off there. Now, I don't actually have that ability equipped at the moment. Did I have it in a second bar? Oh yeah, it's already gone into the bar 2. Now, at this point, you could switch things around. You know, you can actually expand this up and have 2 bars showing at once, and, you know, set them however you see fit, like so. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to switch it back to showing the one where we only have a few abilities. I'm going to press the P button to get my powers bar up, take the medical tricorder icon, And pop it in there. And get rid of that. And we'll take these pattern enhancers. Or set them up over here, more to the point.
We have lowered shields for the transporter, sir. I will need to raise them at the first sign of Borg ships.
Okay, so the pattern enhancers are running. We'll go talk to the administrator there.
Pattern enhancers are working, and not a moment too soon. I can hear the Borg moving this way.
Police signal the remaining citizens to come here to be transported to safety.
I'll do that. How long do you think you can hold off the Borg?
As long as necessary, Captain. Mayor, even. I'm the captain. It's late. Give me a break. And the ability we've got there, now 7 on a hotbar, will do a heal. Just heals a bit. Medical tricorder, it removes a few debuffs as well. Here come the Borg. Well, there go the civilians.
Concentrate fire on the Borg. We need to keep them away from the civilians.
As opposed to concentrating fire on what exactly? The floor? Let's crouch here. Oh, I love split beam rifles. Say, it's pretty easy at this point. You just pretty much stand here and keep shooting them, and civilians will run through, and they'll all escape. You could pretty much hold them off indefinitely. Let's pop a heal on this guy. Didn't really need it, but why not? While you're in tactical mode, if you aim at someone, it will target that person rather than yourself. The ship is hailing us.
Shields are back up, sir, but more Borg vessels are moving to our location. We have detected a type of generator near your position. There is a 94.6% chance it is the device affecting our transporters. If you can destroy it, we will transport as many people from the area as we are able.
Please maintain your cool, Tyrell. We will be there as soon as possible. Mayor, thank you for your assistance.
Thank you for everything you've done. Even though it was impossible to save everyone, those you did save will be forever in your debt.
You are not yet finished, Mayor. We have further efforts to undertake to destroy a generator. Ensign Colas, please accompany us.
Glad to do anything I can. I was born on Vega. There's no way I'm sitting by and letting the Borg take it without a fight.
I'm guessing that's going to be our 4th away team member then. Our 4th crewman we're going to gain.
Alright, Coles.
Alright.
You're gonna see friends who've been assimilated. Don't
I know the drill.
hesitate.
Just never expected any Borg here, you know.
Yep. You may encounter people who've already been assimilated. Don't hesitate to fire. Believe me, you'll be doing them a favor. These and other quotes from First Contact will be available all day. Let's crouch here. My God! Assimilated civilians! No! The humanity! The Borganity, I guess. Now. Oh well. More drones. That guy looks Klingon. What was he doing here?
I knew that one. We played
That one looked Romulan. Oh no, I guess not. I guess his luck ran out. another one of those world assimilating engines.
We are the Borg. Resistance is futile.
The Borg are activating the transport inhibitor.
He looks
We need
like
to
an
disable
agreeable
that
sort of
force
chap.
field.
Okay, so we have to take out the force field. And let's take out these
Borg are
drones
so,
first.
What's the word? Effective? Systematic? Evil. I'm in a
Oh, Flores, what witty dialogue. Yeah, as much as I love the game, the script writing in it isn't exactly on par with the show at times, to put it mildly. But hey, it's not bad by game standards.
It is futile.
No, you don't. Well, I guess he wasn't that tough after all.
The
Kirk
ship
roll.
is transporting anyone that can get a lock on, Captain, but we don't have much time. We need to get back as soon as possible.
Very well. Energize. We've been back to the ship. Taking our new crewmen with us, I guess.
We're packed to the brim with civilians, Captain. I don't think we could fit one more soul on this ship. Communications are still jammed, so we can't reach the Renown or the Kittimer. The immediate problem is the civilian ships in this system. Vega's a huge trading outpost. There are always ships traveling here. We need to warn them the Borg have taken over.
I'm not sure the Renown and the Kittimer are still there after what we last saw of them. Well, you can see looking down at the planet there. It's a nice touch, actually. It's all Borgified now. Gradually getting more and more covered.
Possibly, but what we need to do is hightail it out of here with these civilians. Of
Sorry, I missed that one.
The path to the satellites does lead away from the planet, so we could remotely reconfigure them as we leave. The message won't get very far, but anyone who enters the system will get the signal and be able to turn around before it's too late.
An excellent plan, Lieutenant Ensign. Laying a course for the first satellite. So right, our plan is basically to reconfigure these comm satellites to basically put a warning out to anyone coming into the system to get the hell away while they still can, because Borg, basically. So let's reconfigure that satellite.
Multiple probes inbound. I don't think the Borg like us hanging around.
Let's be having you then. Oh, one of my torpedoes missed. It's a shame, as that would have finished it off. Yeah, weapons can miss in this, so it's not guaranteed you're going to do your damage just because you fire a torpedo or something. Energy weapons pretty much hit every time, but you know, they can miss as well, rarely, but to activate our evasive maneuverability, as you see, for a few seconds there, it gives us a 300% boost to speed and turn rate. It also ups our defense a little bit for a bit. Let's rebalance the shields, and redirect power to the shields as well. And let's put some torpedoes into this guy. So I was saying earlier, I was going to comment briefly that you can see phasers, for example, because if you mouse over them... In fact, let me zoom out a little bit. You can see my forward phaser arc there is that 270 from there. The rear phaser arc is that 270 degree arc all around the rear of the ship and out to the sides. Now what that means is if you have two of those arrays on there, the broadside of my ship overlaps so they can both fire side on. So they do actually, having energy weapons like that is good. The torpedoes actually only have a forward 90 degree cone, so if I put half torpedoes on there, you know, I'll get more torpedo damage when I'm flying away, but I'll be halving my damage side on as well when I'm passing ships. So generally speaking, you know, I like to have a good mixture of energy weapons and torpedoes. Obviously, when you get bigger ships, you can put more weapons on them. And tactical ships can have cannons as well, which are very narrow arcs, but they do a lot of damage. Now, the starting ship you get at this point of the game isn't actually any class of ship, it's just a sort of generic starter ship, so it may field cannons as well, but I don't have any yet. And it doesn't really specialize in one area. I say once you get to higher levels, even past the first tier of ships, there's three main types of Starfleet ships. You get science vessels, which have all sorts of secondary abilities and generally have very good shielding. You get cruisers, which are generally big, slow, but have lots of weapon slots and very tough, have lots of hull regeneration, lots of shielding. They're just big and tanky, but they haven't got as many sort of fancy abilities as science vessels. And you get tactical ships, which are generally smaller, but they're fast and more fragile, but they're faster, they're agile, and they are very, very heavily armed and do a lot of damage head-on. So, you know, they're your DPS ships, basically. Your cruisers are your tanks, and your science vessels are essentially support. Now, you can fly any ship as any class, and you're not limited to, just because I'm playing a science officer, doesn't mean I can't fly a tactical ship. A tactical ship or a cruiser. But, sorry, I keep saying tactical ship. The actual name of the ship class is escorts. But, essentially your escorts are like your Defiant. Your cruisers, it's basically the Enterprises. And, Voyager is a science ship, so as is Intrepid classes in the game, so... But we'll come to that in time when we get there, so let's carry on with the mission. Because this video has already been going on for quite a while, and need to wrap things up fairly soon before everyone gets bored to tears and runs for the hills.
Astrometrics final.
Oh, here's a Borg sphere. Let's come around and take it out. Have some tachyons. And some torpedoes. Didn't take a lot of damage from that torpedo. Thought its shields were down. Let's come around again. Nearly ready for another torpedo volley and another tachyon beam. The shields are failing. Have some torpedoes.
Ships on sensors. No way to contact them, and I can't tell if they're friend or foe.
I'm guessing foe. Is that them back there? I don't think it is. Let's come around and have a look. We got to get back to that satellite. Yep. Let's set a course for the final satellite and head there as quickly as possible. You can see the green arrow on the mini-map pointing in the direction to the next objective. Which is this, Whoa! Whoa, whoa. This is not good. Fire! Fire everything! And whoa, that's a lot of cubes. So, yeah, this is going to be a short series by the looks of it. Oh, wait, here's Starfleet. And the Borg have dropped their tractor beam on us and diverted their attention to this fleet. Oh, it's the Defiant. And the Kittimer and the Renowned survived, apparently. I'm not sure how exactly. You can see the Defiant on the Armitage there as well, laying into the Borg. Now, it may seem like there's only two ships there, but Starfleet has been ramping up their technology in the last few years. I forget this is further on in the future, so we've got all sorts of fancy advanced phasers and torpedoes. And the Borg are taking a bit of a hammering. even still, you can see the amount of fire we're pouring into this cube, and it's still not dead. Without these 4 much bigger ships helping us, we'd hardly be scratching this thing. There she blows. Let's get away from that before it causes too much damage, because again, explosion will hurt us. You can see that did some damage to my hull. Quite an expressive explosion, and the remainders of the cube drift away.
We held off what we could in Pollux and sent a signal out to Starfleet. These were the closest ships. Others will be arriving as soon as they can.
It is agreeable to see you again, Captain. We had thought our defeat was inevitable.
You have handled things
Vulcan
well thus
speak
far.
is actually quite tricky to come up with on the fly.
Reconfiguring the satellites into warning beacons. We received the signal as soon as we arrived in the system.
Will we be attempting to retake Vega? Are you kidding me?
I will be discussing that option with the other captains here, but your priority is to protect the civilians you have.
Yeah,
on board,
we'll get right on that with 4 ships.
The Kittimer will
There's like
return to Earth space dock.
25 cubes
Once you
over there.
arrive, report to Admiral Quinn. He will have more information for you.
Yes, sir. So yeah, we're headed to Earth space dock then.
You and your crew have done well. Koles would make a fine addition to your senior staff.
I concur, Captain. So yeah, we get colas, we get an engineering console for our ship, which will give us some armor, which will resist torpedo damage, and we'll get a full auto phaser rifle we can give to either ourselves or one of our crewmen, which we'll probably give to one of the other away team members.
Congratulations.
Captain Volok told us to get to Earth space dock in...
And there's Leonard
I think
Nimoy
he's
telling us
right.
we've leveled up
We
again.
need to get the civilians to safety.
And
And
now
I
I'm
don't think I
sad.
can handle any more excitement.
However, laying a course for Earth space dock. And let's get the hell out of here. Anytime you're ready. It does load for a little while. If you do get the game yourself, by the way, and believe me, it is an interesting game and it's fun, and it is a lot more exciting than I've probably made it seem with my constant faffing around and non-stop rambling. I would recommend one thing very strongly, which is when you download the game, on the launcher there is an options page on that launcher, and in that option you can there's a little checkbox you can turn to disable on-demand patching. You want to turn that off, basically, because that means on-demand patching essentially means that the game will, install as the minimum amount to be ready to go, and it will then download essentially areas as you come to them during the game as necessary. Now, that will get you into the game and playing faster, but it means every time you load a new region, if you haven't been there before on your current installation of the game, it's going to have to download and patch that area, so you'll find your loading screens take forever. You're much better off turning that off, letting the game just patch itself fully. It'll take a while to download, but if you just let it run overnight or something, or obviously, if you're not the one paying the electricity bills, do check with the person that does that they're okay with that, because computers do eat up power. So, but yeah, let it fully patch up, and then you can just play the game without loading screens taking days and days and days. So yeah, we've got a new officer, Koles, here. And here we are on Earth space dock. And that's where we're going to leave it for now. Because there's a lot to see on Earth space dock, and I'll give you guys a bit of a tour at the start of the next episode. But for now, we will sign off, and thank you guys very much for watching. As I say, I know it's been a bit of a long video, and I have at times probably prattled on about complete nonsense, and again, I am still all new to the whole YouTube malarkey thing. I've only done a few videos thus far, and hopefully they're improving a little bit, because Lord knows they can't get much worse. But, any feedback you want to give me is always very much appreciated, and, if there's any types, if you don't think this sort of particular type of game or style of playthrough works, or you've got any suggestions to how I can improve, sensibly here. I mean, let's be constructive. Don't just say, oh, lol, 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 you could improve by killing yourself. Ha 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 ha. You know, don't worry, I'm not going to go and cry myself to sleep over YouTube comments, but, you know, I may not need to kill myself anyway. At this rate, I'll just die on my own, so, no, but seriously, any suggestions are always appreciated. I say, you know, I am new to this, I am always eager to learn. You know, I do watch other people's reviews, and I've, you know, tried to learn from them as much as I can, but, you know, it's not the same when you're doing it yourself, and if you guys have any suggestions, do always tell me. And in the meantime, you know, hopefully, if you're enjoying these, keep watching them, and if you want to hit like, and if you want to subscribe, please do. That's great, and I'd always appreciate it. And, well, I'll see you guys in the next video, basically. Cheers!